Hi seniors, welcome to English. It is Wednesday. Head on over to your classwork tab and check out today's quick write, please. Remember 5 complete and quality sentences. Your quick writes from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are due Friday at noon. And your Friday quick write is due Monday at noon. So make sure you're getting those done and turned in on time, okay? So yesterday we read In the Shadows of War by Ben Okri. And this was a connection to our world literature Vietnam, even though it was from a man from Nigeria. This story, The Shadows of War, you've got this young boy who he listens to the news of the war every day on the radio. And his father goes to work and he thinks that children shouldn't be listening to the war. But the war is there in their own town. He sees the soldiers calling to children and giving them money. And so he's like, well, let's see what this is all about. I want some extra money. He goes past, and when they ask his name, he gives a fake name, right? He doesn't necessarily want these soldiers to know who he is, but he wants to see what they're up to. And when they ask finally about the woman in black, even though he has talked about seeing her every day for a long time, walk past his house, he decides to stay silent and say, no, I haven't seen her. And so they tell her that she's a traitor. She's a traitor in the war, selling information to the enemy. And when they offer him this 10 gobos, he actually refuses it. Now, it's up to your own imagination why he refuses it. I mean, he obviously went down there to get the money in the first place. Granted, he did lie to them. So was it his conscience? Or was he subtly saying he doesn't support them? You choose. Then, later that night, he sees the woman and he sees the soldiers following her, and he kind of wants to know what's really going on. He wants to be the one to decide whether she's a traitor or not. And so he follows her and finds out what she's been doing. She's been helping people that are hiding out, people that would be considered rebels. So yeah, she's aiding the enemy. But who's the true enemy for them? It's up to every different person to decide which side they're on in this war. And so he finds out all this information, continues following her, and finally sees the soldiers confronting her. In this whole story, he's kind of had this almost rose-colored glasses thing going on. He doesn't truly understand the war until that night. And so he sees the people that have been killed in this war, likely rebels, and he sees her rebel against the soldiers. And finally, he hears the gunshot as they shoot her. And he runs. He doesn't want to be caught by them. And so he runs. But he runs screaming, and they follow him. But he trips and falls and hits his head. When he comes to, he thinks he's blind, but really he's just in a dark room. And finally finds out he's at home. And the soldiers have brought him back home and are sitting with his father. And when he tries to tell his father what the soldiers did, his father covers for him. He could be thought of as a traitor for outing the soldiers for what they did and for not agreeing with it. But his father steps in and is like, just don't worry about him. It's okay. He's just hit his head, right? He's delirious. Those are the shadows of war it's talking about. They have to live in the shadows with their own opinions, lest they be found out and they end up the same way the woman did. So, hard subject, right? It's pretty crazy. Today you're going to be starting a compare and contrast assignment, okay? It's going to be pretty short. you just need 3 paragraphs. Okay, so about 15 sentences total. You're going to have today to work on it as well as tomorrow, and it's going to be due on Friday. Okay, I would like you to compare and contrast the poem from Vietnam and the short story from Nigeria. Both are about war, and both are about the situations the citizens are put in. But they have different views on it. So, one paragraph, I'd like you to tell me about the poem. The second paragraph, I'd like you to tell me about the short story. And the third paragraph, I want you to tell me how they're the same and how they're different. So, 2 summaries and how they're the same and different. You'll find this assignment under your assignment tab, your classwork tab under assignments, called Compare and Contrast World Lit. Okay? So check that out. Get to work on that. It is due Friday. Tomorrow is, other than your quick write, entirely working on it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, I will let you get to work. All right. Good luck and have a good day.